former NFL players, they're just like us. After watching his alma mater blow a 200 lead and fail to do something lowly Troy did just a few weeks ago, former Auburn fullback Heath strapped on his Twitter fingers and vented away the pain from War Eagles' 2,723 loss to LSU. Evans didn't only call for Gus Malzahn's job, he went as far as to suggest a replacement himself. Evans, a 10-year NFL fullback and current analyst for NFL Network and Fox Sports, has no coaching experience. But he would work for the low price of $1 million a year. Bryce Love had an off game on Saturday. All the Cardinal running back did was carry 17 times for a measly 147 yards, good for a pathetic 8.6 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns in number 22 Stanford's 487 destruction of Oregon. Stanford is in the midst of a typical David Shaw second-half run, and that team's success may be starting to hurt Love's personal numbers. His 147 yards, which would be good for 6th nationally on a per-game basis, dropped his average by close to 8 yards per game, and his 8.6 yards per carry, which, again, would place 8th among all runners, cut that average from 10.5 to 10.27. But, still, Love's numbers remain on an historically great track. Through 7 games, Love has rushed 135 times for 1,387 yards and 11 touchdowns. In 135 carries, Love by himself would rank 29th among teams in rushing offense. He's run for 50 more yards than actual number 29 LSU, in 151 fewer carries. And Love's numbers still keep him in the conversation with Barry Sanders' Heisman pace. Through 7 games in 1988, Sanders had carried 192 times for 1,476 yards, a pedestrian 7.69 per carry, and 22 touchdowns. Love is far and away ahead of one former Heisman running back. Mark Ingram won the Heisman in 2009 after averaging 118.4 rushing YPG. Bryce Love is averaging 120.9 rushing YPG in the first half. Jacob Jaffe at Jacob Jaffe October 15, 2017. Mark Ingram beat out Stanford running back Toby Gerhart for that season's Heisman, and Alabama's Derrick Henry did the same to Stanford's Christian McCaffrey in 2015. The Tide don't have a Heisman candidate at running back this season, so this may be the season for a Stanford runner to break through. One thing that might help stop blowing people out so darn quickly. The red smoke is emerging from the top of Memorial Stadium, and it's Bill Moos. Nebraska was widely expected to announce a full-time replacement for ousted AD Sean Eichhorst this week, and on Sunday those rumors became true when the Huskers announced the hiring of Washington State's Moos to run the department. Nebraska has secured a proven winner in Bill Moos to lead Husker athletics into a new era of excellence, Chancellor Ronnie Green said in a statement. It was clear that Bill stood out in a very competitive, tremendously gifted pool of candidates, not only because of his proven ability to lead programs to greatness, but because of his reputation for integrity in building and leading those programs. Moos is being hired to fix the Huskers football program as his first, second and third priorities. He did the same at Washington State by pulling Mike Leach from his exile in Key West up to Pullman, a move that has worked as the Cougars are 186 in Pac-12 play since 2015. That doesn't mean Leach is on his way to Lincoln, however. Moos made the perfect hire for Washington State, and now he's reportedly been hired to do the same for Nebraska. To lead one of the most storied and successful athletic programs in the nation is a true honor, Moos said. Nebraska is a very special place, known far and wide for its phenomenal fans, for doing things the right way, for supporting its students, honoring its athletic legacy and maintaining excellence in athletic success across the board. I am proud to help build upon these Husker traditions. Moos, 66, has signed a 5-year contract with a $1 million salary. 4 top 10 teams losing to unranked opponents in 1 week tends to shake things up a bit. For starters, Alabama is now unanimously viewed as the number 1 team in the country. The Tide earned every available number 1 vote in Sunday's coaches poll and the companion AP poll, released Sunday. Penn State moved up to number 2, the program's highest ranking since 1999. Georgia followed behind at number 3, while TCU and Wisconsin filled out the top 5. A 5th straight blowout was enough for Ohio State to jump 3 spots forward to number 6, putting the Buckeyes at the front of the one-loss train, ahead of Clemson. LSU rejoined the poll after knocking off 10 Auburn, but remained 3 spots ahead of the Blue and Orange Tigers. West Virginia bumped 24 Texas Tech out and moved in at number 23, while Memphis made its 2017 debut, replacing number 25 Navy. and cementing the AP's status as the greater of the sports. Two opinion polls, voters moved Michigan State ahead of Michigan a week after the Spartans' win in the Big House. The full poll won. Alabama, 1,525 total points, 61 first place votes. 2. Penn State, 1,432 3. Georgia, 1,417 4. TCU, 1,322 5. Wisconsin, 1,241 6. Ohio State, 1,184 7. Clemson, 1,117 8. Miami, 1,109 9. Oklahoma, 1,066 10. Oklahoma State, 911. USC, 886 12. Washington, 811 13. Notre Dame, 798 14. Virginia Tech, 727 15. Washington State, 578 16. South Florida, 573 16. NC State, 573 18. Michigan State, 563 19. Michigan, 558 20. Central Florida, 387 21. Auburn, 303 22. Stanford, 274 23. West Virginia, 157 24. LSU, 108 25. Memphis, 62. The lesser of the two opinion polls was released Sunday morning, with a major shakeup in the top 10. Following losses by Clemson, Washington and Washington State, Penn State has moved to number 2 in the coaches' poll, followed by Georgia, TCU and Wisconsin to fill out the top 5. Ohio State gained 2 spots to number 6, while Miami's last-second win over Georgia Tech boosted the Hurricanes 3 spots to number 7. Clemson dropped to number 8, while fellow one-loss contenders Oklahoma, USC and Oklahoma State followed thereafter, each bumping ahead 3 spots. In keeping up with the regular inconsistencies, Michigan remains 4 spots ahead of Michigan State despite the teams having the same record and Sparty the head-to-head, and the same held true for LSU and Auburn. The full poll won. Alabama, 1,575 total points, 63 first-place votes. 2. Penn State, 1,483 3. Georgia, 1,454. TCU, 1,345 5. Wisconsin, 1,338 6. Ohio State, 1,243 7. Miami, 1,144 8. Clemson, 1,106 9. Oklahoma, 1,079 10. USC, 930 11. Oklahoma State, 917 12. Washington, 914 13. South Florida, 716 14. Virginia Tech, 701 15. Michigan, 657 16. Notre Dame, 614 17. NC State, 573 18. Washington State, 564 19. Michigan State, 469 20. Central Florida, 439 21. Auburn, 354 22. Stanford, 286 23. West Virginia, 144 24. Texas A&M, 94 25. LSU, 80.